Hello Kunal and We Make Devs team. My name is Sarthak Maini and I am currently applying for the Super25 mentorship program. And I am making this video in order to add it as a part of my application. So the contents which I would be covering in this video are: firstly, as I have learned from Kunal, proof of work and credibility are extremely important. And in this video, I would be doing exactly that and giving my proof of work, what I have done in the past 1.5 years. I would also be explaining my journey so far so that you can get a better understanding of what my current position is. I would also be explaining where I'm facing problems and what I'm doing to overcome that. I would be explaining some of my understandings, which I would come to in a moment, and I would be explaining my future plan. So, what I would be planning to do in the future, what are my goals, etc. So, let's get started. Firstly, let me get started with my understanding. So, I understand that code of conduct is extremely important and we should respect everyone in the community and in general. I also understand that we should respect each other's time and no one's time should get wasted in the process. I understand that I am the one who has to put in actual hard work and invest time in order to gain my goals and accomplishments which I want to. And I also understand that it's not about getting a job. Well, it is kind of, but it's instead of about getting skilled in what you do. So that's what I wanted to share with my understandings. Proof of work. So let's get to my proof of work. I have been contributing to GitHub to open source for about 1.5 years. So here is my GitHub account, which I would be linking in the application. And I currently have a streak of 39 days. This is because I am trying to get into the habit of contributing to open source daily. And as you can see, this is my contribution graph. This is 2022, this is 2021 and 2023. Again, I will be linking this in the application. And along with this, I have made 3 projects in my GitHub. This is the hotel management system project, the road network design project, and the test dynamo project, which you can check out. So this is my GitHub part. I have also been learning in public as suggested by Kunal, and I have also been creating content, and I have been doing this since 1.5 years. And this is my LinkedIn account. So I am pursuing 2 degrees, by the way. One is an offline degree from JP Institute of Information Technology, and one is an online degree from Indian Institute of Technology Madras in data science and applications. And the JIIT one is BTech. So uh, some of my proof of work is I was recently selected for Girl Script Summer of Code. I am also active in communities. So I recently attended KubeCon virtually. So here is the email which I received. The pictures of me attending the event virtually are also on my profile, which I would be linking. The profile I would be linking in the application. I was also invited for the We Make Devs daily meetup. So that was it was really nice. And I I was also mentioned in a tweet recently from the Pinecone repository as they reached 7.1k stars on GitHub, and I was one of the contributors who was contributing in a good amount. So they mentioned me, which I appreciate a lot. So this is some of the proof of work. Along with this, I uh, eh, uh, along with learning in public, I also did 3 internships. One was uh, these were all in my freshman year. I am currently in my sophomore year and haven't taken any internship in my sophomore year. Just Google Script Summer of Code, and I tried to participate in Google Summer of Code, which I would be coming on to later. So I got a role as a junior WebOps uh, role in the IIT Madras, and I worked as a graphic design intern, and I worked as a social media manager. So this social media manager part was also my first making money. So that was my first earning. And the graphic design part is also I have my proof of work. So in the graphic work section of my GitHub, you can find my graphic design work if you want to. And also, uh, where was I? Yeah. So this, and I also made some projects which I have already mentioned. Along with this, I have been learning on Twitter as well. So this is my Twitter account, and I have okay. So recently, my goal has been to network as much as possible and apply for opportunities as much as possible, which I am doing currently right now as well by applying to this program. And I am doing this because I believe that we should learn from people who are much more experienced than us and who have achieved the goals that we want to achieve. So I recently attended a meetup in the Growin community, and there I met a lot of DevOps engineers, which I would come to later that I am focusing on that. So I'll come to that later in the my journey for so far section. But for now, I have been attending meetups a lot, networking with people a lot. So many experienced people here. I also attended a meeting uh, with with the founders of a current startup, which is known as Bookloop here. And as you can see, I have been learning in public, making open source contributions, etc. So this and uh, I have also been making. This was the next point, but I can cover it now. I, on the recommendation of Kunal, I also started content creation 1.5 years ago, and this is just me posting about a YouTube video I made on my Twitter. And another meetup which I attended, which was from Techie Piyush. So he's running a challenge of, uh, I think, hashtag 10 weeks of cloud ops, something like that. So I think that is really beneficial for me, and I attended that meetup as well. So I was invited for the We Make Devs meetup, which was very nice. The Girl Script Summer of Code, more contributions, open source contributions, and this is more open source contributions. This is just a post with yeah. This is my me attending KubeCon and Cloud Native. So I also met a person from another country, Arslan, a really good person, and I he did my he he was basically the part of the Microsoft Learning Student Ambassador program. So I got to learn a lot from him about that, and I think he's pursuing machine learning. It was really nice, and this is just KubeCon and me meeting him. More contributions. So as you can see, I have been learning in public for quite a while now, 1.5 years. Uh, approx. Another thing I would like to add in my proof of work is my YouTube channel. So I have been consistent recently, but I wasn't consistent much, which I should be. That is a weak point I should work on. And on the recommendation of Kunal, I made this YouTube channel and have been trying to put myself out there to get more credibility and recognition, etc. So here I made the projects, etc., which you can view here. And another thing I would like to mention here is that I tried to participate in the Google Summer of Code in the Jenkins organization. So unfortunately, I was not selected by the maintainer, by the organization. But I am putting this in the video because I got extremely positive feedback from the Jenkins maintainers, and they said uh, that there was nothing wrong with my proposal. My proposal was fantastic. All my work was fantastic. It was something related to the grading system, which uh, which led to me not getting selected. But that's okay. I plan to keep contributing to the Jenkins organization, and currently I am going through the documentation of the Jenkins organization. And one problem which I am facing is that I am able to make documentation changes and small code changes, but I am not able to make large hardcore code changes. That is, for example, 1,000 lines of code, 10,000 lines of code. So I want to do that, which I was about to cover in where I am facing problems section. So yeah, that's the only problem I'm facing, is that I want to make larger code contributions, and currently I'm making only smaller code contributions. So that's a problem I'm facing. And the solution, let me just mention the solution I'm implementing for that quickly so that we can get that section out of the way. So the solution, basically, I'm constantly and actively networking with people who are much more experienced than me. So we just saw that over here in my learning of public portfolio, that I have been consistently attending meetups, meeting new people, new experienced people who have achieved the goals which I want to achieve. And and this is the reason that I want to learn from them, that how they are doing this. And I also recently had a meeting with one of the maintainers of the Jenkins community. That's what I was referring to when I said that the maintainers gave me a really positive feedback on my Google Summer of Code proposal. So that's why I included it. And in that, one of my questions which I asked him was that how can I make large code contributions? He gave me three tips. One was do something which is challenging but not too challenging. Get out of your comfort zone and have patience. So that's the three advice he gave me, and I am following that diligently and trying to get out of my comfort zone. So that's the problems I was facing and what I'm doing to overcome that. So basically, networking and implementing what I'm learning from that networking. Okay, so back to the proof of work. Where was I? I was on my proposal, I guess. So this is the proposal I made for GSOC, and yeah, so they were impressed with my work. So that's why I'm including. Is there anything left? On the recommendation of Kunal, I have also made a Hashnode account, and I currently have some blogs in my drafts. I have to make some changes. That's why I haven't posted them, but the drafts are ready. I would be posting them as soon as possible. And this comes under the learning in public initiative as well. So this is all the proof of work. I believe if there is any proof of work which comes to my mind later in the video, I would be mentioning it, or I would mention it in the application if it gets missed here. So my journey so far, okay. So I am currently in my sophomore year. I started contributing to open source in my freshman year. I have been learning in public since my freshman year. I started creating content in my freshman year. Okay, yeah. Uh, Regarding creating content, I I I attended a Twitter space which was taken by Kunal, and in this he explained how to grow on Twitter. So as you can see, I have about 2,500 followers on Twitter. So I followed. Where is that? Just a second. Uh, I basically made notes of what Kunal said, and I followed that, and that's how I grew on Twitter. So that's basically what I wanted to add for proof of work. I'll add the notes over here as well in my application as well. Okay, so yeah, so my journey so far, uh, I'm in my sophomore year. I started contributing to open source in my freshman year. I've been learning in public since my freshman year. Uh, I, as Kunal suggested in his roadmap, uh, he suggested two he suggested two things. One was doing data structures and algorithms, and the other was exploring all the domains as much as possible. So currently, I am in the process of practicing data structure and algorithm, and I would say I'm decent at it, but I give 1 to 2 hours a day to data structures and algorithms every day, and I explored web development, DevOps. I made Chrome extensions. I made APIs using the Fast API framework in Python. I also made HTTP servers using Golang. I also uh, I also I made a Chrome extension as well. I explored social media marketing as well. I explored a lot of stuff in my first year, as Kunal suggested. And I also did 3 internships, which is mentioned in my LinkedIn over here. One was graphic design intern, one was social media manager, one was junior web operations role, uh, and that was an internship. And in IIT Madras, and I did all of that in my freshman year. And Girl Script Summer of Code, Pinecone, and Virtual KubeCon, I think I have mentioned. Is there anything else that I have to mention? Yeah, so that was my freshman year. And in my sophomore year, I started focusing more on uh, learning DevOps. So that is Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins, YAML, Linux. So all the DevOps stuff which I could get hands-on experience, I tried to. I still need to learn AWS, Terraform, etc. But I am in the process of deep diving in DevOps, and my goal is to get a job in DevOps by the end of my third year. So I think that sums up my journey, and I have already covered the problems I'm facing. I have covered my understanding. I have covered my journey so far. Okay. So I think I have covered everything in this video. If there is anything left, or I have missed out, I would just put it in the application as well. So that's it. Thank you to the We Make Devs team, which I think would be viewing this video. Okay, I appreciate you taking the time to view this video. Okay, thank you very much. I would be ending this video. Thank you.